Welcome to the abortion clinic. So, how long have you been thinking about murdering your child? 1 month? 2 months? 8 months? It don't matter. Come right this way. I can help you. Guys, we're going to talk about Roe versus Wade, and we're going to talk about the spiritual effects on even a fetus. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. A year ago, I had a near-death-like experience, and ever since then, I can pick up on energies and I can even hear from God itself. I was told it would take my soul 14,422 lifetimes to be completed. So I decided to start a social media platform so I can help more people speed this thing on up and finally get the heck up off this planet. Tired of being human. Ready to go. Guys, what is up? Welcome back to Instructions for Humanity. It is Tahirah, your spiritual teacher, spiritual advisor. You know, I teach that message. We are all one in love. Grow with me, guys. Love with me. It's going to be a wonderful, great ride. Okay, guys, go ahead and click on the like button. You know, it helps out the algorithm. And then also go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do not miss any of my future episodes. Guys, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about this whole Roe versus Wade situation. Now, what is that? You know that the Supreme Court got involved some time ago and basically deemed that it's a woman's right to choose whether she wants to murder her child or not. And guys, I'm saying it this way on purpose because in order for a woman to be child-free, somebody has to get X'd out. Somebody got to be murdered. And the reason why I'm saying that, we're going to talk about that in a moment. The spiritual aspects on that fetus, the scar it leaves on the soul, and the scar it leaves on you, humanity, and also the government and the country that you live in, guys. So it is multi-layered when we make these kinds of decisions. But guys, you know what? People have been asking me, hey, do you do readings? Do you do spiritual advising? Do you do all of that? And for so long, I've just been doing it for free. But guys, you know, I got to get my money back up. So if you want me to help you out, if you want me to go ahead and go into the spirit world and see if I can give you any sort of spiritual advice that will help you on your soul's journey, go ahead and just email me at instructionsforhumanity.com and I will go ahead and reply and we will get this thing started for you. I will leave all the information in the description box. But anywho, guys, this is a big deal because this is going, or people are afraid that this could also cause them to overturn other things like gay rights and gay marriage and a slew of other things. But guys, I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about the soul, right? And see, the reason why we have these, before I do that, I'm going to tell you the reason, I'm going to tell you the earthly aspects of this first, because you know, there's always an earthly aspect and there's always a spiritual aspect. But you know, when people don't know this, but when Planned Parenthood was formed, it was formed to keep the population of the Black and brown people at bay. You know, so basically giving minority women the right to go ahead and murder their child. And they don't even care how many months you are because they do not want the population of the Black and brown people to go up. That is how it was started, guys. Seriously. Now everyone is using it. And now they have tricked everyone into thinking that it's all about a woman's right. They don't care about women's right. It's all propaganda. But that's a story for another day. But anywho, so that was the whole situation on how this whole thing started. But now a lot of even other nationalities are partaking in these murdering events, aka the abortions. So now it has hit, you know, the global stage, you know. So guys, and that's funny because I just want to say that it's funny how they say that, oh, Black people can't use the race card. But I was watching the news the other day and they were like, oh, well, this is going to affect so many minorities. So many Black people are going to be affected by this decision that just happened to overturn this Roe versus Wade ruling. And I'm like, y'all pull out the Black card more than the so-called Black people pull out the Black card. Because you know they ain't never cared about what's going to happen to Black or brown women. Because if that was the case, the whole slavery situation would never happen, okay? So, you know, when it's convenient for them and their agenda, they will go ahead and say, oh, this is going to affect the Black and brown people the most. They're already the most oppressed. We can't do that. We have to protect their rights to go ahead and murder their children. Well, I mean, if you really wanted to protect the rights, like I said, slavery wouldn't have happened. So-called slavery, Jim Crow wouldn't have happened. We would have gotten reparations, what's actually already ours because we built this country, not to mention that most of us are the aboriginals of this country, but they're calling you African American. But that is a story for a whole nother video that I already did. But anyways, so now they want to fight for the rights of the black and brown people by giving you the right to X out yourself. That's how they want to do it. So, I mean, to me, that really just doesn't make any sense. But anywho, that is kind of the worldly aspect of it, guys. And what they're doing, they're using women, all women. I don't care what color you are. They're using women to get their sick agenda passed. Because, guys, whether you believe it or not, you are under the energy of the place that you live, in the city that you live, in the state that you live, in the country that you live. And that's why everything is speeding up and becoming so demonic, is because we are living under unrighteous acts and deeds. That's what's going on. So no, this country's never going to be right if you're murdering fetuses, aka souls. And I'm going to get into, they're already there. They're already attached. Okay. And I'm going to tell you my own personal experience as well. So that is what's going on an earthly level, but they're trying to just make it seem like, oh, women are going to be so oppressed. This is going to bring us back in time if we don't fix this and, redo this ruling. Maybe back in time is where we need to go, because we see as we move along with the times, things are getting worse. And they're using women, all women, they're using minority women to say that, oh, they're going to be affected the most from this. Guys, a lot of people are not going to like what I'm going to say, especially women. You see, there's only a few ways to get here onto the earth school. You got to have sex. You're either going to be married and have sex and give birth. You're going to be in a partnership. You're going to be in a one-night stand. You're going to get AR'd. Or you're going to even get AR'd by someone in your own family. And I know that these laws were to protect even people like that from these incestuous relationships and or R's rather, because they're not really relationships. And for women that get AR'd as well by strangers. And I understand that. But see, there's only a few ways to get here on the earth school. And you're not going to like this. But just because that soul that is already attached to you in the spirit comes by the way of one of those avenues that the world deems as ugly or bad or dirty, it still doesn't mean that soul doesn't have a right to be here. Okay? So that does leave a scar on you. But the thing about it is, if humanity was more loving, more compassionate, more empathetic to people that have been AR'd, to women that have been AR'd, sometimes they treat women that have been AR'd like they did something wrong. Like they are the reason that this happened to them. And people that have to give birth that have been AR'd by a family member, let's say a father or brother, things like this happen. And the world puts a stigma on them, and they'll call them trash, and they'll say that they're dirty. And that's why these women have to run to these abortion clinics to murder their children, because of the stigma that the world puts on them for having children that are not seated properly. Okay? And the biggest thing is the single mothers, guys. Do you know how many men sit up here online and talk bad about single women, single mothers? And I'm like, in order for that woman to be a single mother, the father had to leave her. I mean, it does take two, guys. Like, no one just gets pregnant on their own. So the world puts a stigma against single mothers, especially Black single mothers. And so that woman finds herself at the abortion clinic to murder her child as well, because of the stigma that the world has put on all of them. So what I'm saying is we could get rid of a lot of the need for women to want to have abortions by simply raising our humanity, being more compassionate, protecting women, really. Women are to be protected. Children are to be protected, not murdered. So humanity needs to raise their level of collective consciousness, love, empathy, their vibration, so that we can go ahead and help the ones that have been harmed and embrace them, bring them into society, and not push them out. That would help a lot of women from running to these clinics. Now, you do have those kind of women that just like, they just be getting it in. They be getting it in with whoever, and they use abortion as birth control. There are a lot of women like that. There really are. And so the thing about it is, if laws like this were not in place, those women would be more, they would be thinking before they're doing all these things. But guys, the whole point I want to make here is the spiritual aspect, that no matter how you slice it, it's still murder. It is. And I'm going to tell you now about a situation that happened to me to make my point. In 2015, I was pregnant and I lost my child. I actually, it was my birthday, guys. It was my birthday, June 24th, 2015. I laid on my bed and then I couldn't get up. And all of a sudden, just these sharp pains just started. It's like someone was stabbing me repeatedly in my stomach 1,000,000 times. And 911 came, and I don't even know how I made it out of that bed. Guys, it was the worst pain I ever felt. And I got rushed to the hospital, and, lo and behold, I was pregnant. But the child was stuck in my fallopian tubes. And so they had to go ahead and, to save my life, to go ahead and cut the tube, essentially, losing the pregnancy. I had to have blood transfusion and all sorts of things. Guys, it was bad. I was literally internally bleeding for like 2 weeks, and I didn't know it before, so I pretty much almost died. So I tell you that situation to say, you guys know that I can hear from spirit. And the other night, I saw an image of a little girl, and she had her back turned towards me. She was in a fetal position, and I knew it was my daughter because I could tell by the way she looked. And she's about 7, 8 years old now. And see, spirits grow up in the spirit world. I've seen her progressively grow. I've seen her when she was a baby. I've seen her when she was a toddler. Now I've seen her around 7 or 8 years old, guys. So they still do progress. And she was in a fetal position, and I just knew it was her because, guys, she's beautiful. And give me a moment just to tote on my daughter for a moment. And yes, I call her my daughter, guys, because I understand this life, this soul. It's deeper than being here in a physical body, guys. I am still her mother. She is still my daughter. We are still having that experience, although we're not able to have it here on the 3D plane, aka Earth. We are still connected. That soul is still my child, and I'm still her mother. And so she's beautiful. She has this beautiful dark skin. And you guys remember Tatiana Ali from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? She had that kind of skin. Beautiful curly hair. And she's hairy too. She even has like sideburns. She's like little baby hairs on her face. Like, she's so cute. Cute little button nose. Beautiful almond-shaped eyes, beautiful infectious smile. She is the dream. I'm sorry, I just had to tote on her for a moment because she is a dream child, and very sweet, very generous, very kind-hearted, and very passionate and driven as well. So just wanted to say that. But she was in the fetal position when I saw her, and I asked her, and I named her Naomi. And I asked her, what's wrong? And she told me that when she remembers, guys, I was 7 weeks pregnant, but she remembers this. all of a sudden when I was talking, my throat started to close up and I couldn't get the words out to like finish asking her, what's going on? What's wrong? Why are you sitting that way? She said that when she was cut out of my body, because they did have to remove my tube to save my life. She said she understood that it was the only way to save my life. And she understood that she wasn't going to make it. And so she said that was the right decision. But she said when that happened, the cutting of the tube, she felt that someone cut her air supply off to her emotions, to be able to express herself energetically on a soul level. And that is why I started to kind of have pains in my throat and choke up. So that is how that experience affected her, because she was ready to come through. She had a life plan already, guys, because believe it or not, your children actually choose you. Yes, they choose you based off of the things that their soul needs to overcome, the things that their soul needs to or wants to experience, because guys, this is all a simulation. We have our scripts and we come here to act it out, to experience ourselves outside of the greater whole. And I know I talk a lot about the heaven matrix, but guys, not every soul comes from the heaven matrix. There are some of us spark souls that come directly from the cosmos. A lot of people are getting recycled in the heaven matrix. A lot of those people are the non-playable characters, believe it or not, the ones that don't even possess a soul. But that's a whole different thing. Now, you can be a non-playable character and not possess a soul, but have a spirit and be trapped up in the remix of the heaven matrix. And you can also be a soul being that is just new to these lost worlds, to the matrix worlds, and you keep getting caught up that way. But some of us came here on purpose to experience ourselves outside of source. Like myself, I remember being with source. I remember being in the cosmos before this life. And so I say that to say that she chose me because there were certain things that she was telling me that she needed to do, that she was going to be a very big singer. She was going to be very instrumental in the world. She was going to be a light to the world. She was going to use her voice to do that. And that's probably another reason why my voice was cut off, because she was to be a singer, a very, very powerful, popular singer that was going to heal the world, that was going to help the world. But she knew that, she said that she chose me because I was the only one that can give her what she needed to accomplish that. She straight up told me, you were the only one. And that's why she was sitting in the fetal position, because that script, that thing in which she wanted to experience, that thing that in which she was already working on in the spirit world. Because guys, we already have all these talents before we come in here. We're already gifted, right, from source. And so she already had that, and she wanted to come and experience it. She wanted to experience herself outside of source and experience herself being source, because we are creator gods. We are experiencing ourselves being little miniature gods, guys, creator gods. And so she wasn't able to do that. She was going to use her voice to shine her light on the world. And that's another reason why my throat was closing up and she was in the fetal position. And I just reassured her. I said, Naomi, there's nothing that you could do that would ever keep me from loving you. There's nothing that, even if you didn't come in the physical, I'm still your mother. I'm still going to help you. You're still my daughter. I still love you. I'm still going to protect you and take care of you. And I'm still going to nurture you. I just assured her that, and it did make her happy. But the thing is, at 7 weeks, guys, 7 weeks, she felt that impact of her being cut out of me left a scar on her soul, where she is growing up in the spirit world as Naomi still. And she's still feeling the scar, and she's still feeling the pain. And more importantly, she did not get to accomplish that in which her soul yearned to do. That is what it's all about, guys. So if the world can stop putting stigmas on all these women, if they get AR'd by a stranger, AR'd by somebody in their family, if they are a single mother, if the world embraces them and uplifts them, these women would not be running in droves to these clinics. They would not, guys. There would still be some that be on that hot girl summer stuff, and they just be like, oops, I was on the X and with my ex, so I need to go and X out this fetus, you know? So there's still going to be some people like that. But guys, if we just need to have more compassion and empathy, and we could help a lot of these women stop going to these places that were put into place to stop you, to stop humanity, to kill off humanity, guys. That is what the Planned Parenthoods and all these abortion clinics are for. They are not your friend. It's for population control. Okay? They want to control some populations more than others, but make no mistake about it, no matter what your race or nationality, they want to control the population on this earth. That's just the truth about it. That's why we have all these other things going on here right now. So I just assured her that we're going to still be together, baby. Like, don't be sad. We're going to be together. I'm always going to be here for you. There's nothing you could do or say to make me stop loving you. There is nothing that anybody can do to keep me from you. I'm your mother. I will always be. Tahirah will always be the mother of Naomi. Doesn't matter whether you came here in the physical or not. Because, like, this is not real, guys. It's an avatar we put on this meat suit to have this earth experience, guys. That is just it. But she's still growing up in the spirit world, and she's about 7.5 now. So I just want you guys to think about that it's deeper than just, oh, I don't want to have a baby. I don't want the responsibility. I need to finish school. I don't have enough money to have a child. Guys, you are killing someone on a soul level. You're hurting someone on a soul level. That scar is on her. And it's just because I can see it. Some people can't see. There's some people who have had like 5, 6, 7, 8 abortions, guys. All those children are around you. Some of them are even, depending on how long they were with you. Like some of these women who have abortions at like 4 months, 5 months and beyond. Those babies are actually stuck on the lower astral realm, attached to your body right now, sucking off of you, clinging to you, even being angry of what you did to them. And it's causing other problems in your life. And you stay on a perpetual cycle because they are attached to you. And spiritually, they are weighing you down. So even spiritually for you, for the mother, for the women, it's not good for you to do this, because it impacts that soul, that child's soul, and it impacts you. Even though I didn't have an abortion, I still lost a child at a very young stage. This has put a scar on my soul, something that my soul has to grow and overcome. It's something that my soul will carry with me. And luckily, I know a lot about this, and I am spiritual, and I'm able to fix it now in this lifetime. But most people don't do that. They bury it, and they carry it with them. So that's why they keep taking these different incarnations to try to fix it. But we can fix it now. But guys, we can fix it by embracing women, by uplifting women, by protecting women. That is how we can fix a lot of this, guys. And I know I try to make jokes out of hard situations a lot. You know, I try to keep it lighthearted as well on this channel because what I talk about is so heavy a lot. But what I just want us to take from this is that it leaves a scar on the soul. Your soul, the child's soul, humanity's soul as a whole, as a collective, and a scar on our nation. The energy we are living under, guys, is an energy it's negative energy because of all the negative things that your laws, the law of the land that you say you're supposed to follow, the laws are unrighteous. It's causing you to not be righteous. And in return, unrighteous acts are happening to you and your children, to all of us. We are living under the smurder energy of innocent children. We're living under the smurder energy of going off to wars and still smurdering innocent women and children. So the women and children are still not being protected. So this Roe versus Wade situation, whether it's in effect or out of effect, the protection of women is still not there. You can only protect women and children with your soul essence. You have to have a heart to protect them, not to have a law that gives them the right to murder, that gives them the right to inflict more pain on themselves, their soul's journey, the journey of their children's soul as well. It's still not protecting women, in my opinion. So it's up to us as a nation to rise above this and uplift everyone. Love everyone. Guys, I always say it, love is the way. Through the energy of love, you're able to have more humanity, which is compassion and empathy. That's what we need. And we wouldn't have a use for all of these clinics and all of these laws, because the laws are not for you guys. This earth that we live on is ran by the evil one. And none of these laws will ever be for the benefit of you and for the benefit of your soul. Okay? And I think for now, guys, I think I'm just going to leave it right there. Guys, I hope this message resonated with any of you beautiful people out there. Guys, go ahead and like and subscribe, and just know that I love you. The birds, the bees, and yes, all of the trees, they all love you too. Guys, if you want a consultation with me, you want to book a consultation with me, go ahead and email me. Leave me a comment online or something. Instructions for the number 4, humanity@gmail.com. Because guys, the only thing that really matters is cleaning out our soul essence so that we can return back home to source. That's the only thing that truly matters, guys. So I'm going to leave you with that, but just know that love is the way, forgiveness is the key, and truth is that light that will always guide us home. Be well, guys.